From B-Man, birding for life, man. Yeah, birds are really cool. I had actually talked Tate out of getting a pet bird because, dude, they're so annoying, and they're really high maintenance pets to have. You have to give them a lot of attention. They're really needy, which, I mean, it might work for Tate, honestly. But regardless, birds are a pretty difficult animal to take care of. Typically, it's not advised to have them. And when you live in apartments, they're just generally not the best or ideal animal to have. They're a little bit louder than the average animal, so typically I advise against it. But yeah, there are parakeets that we were dealing with, and they're really social animals. They were like all over us. I think at one point Tate had like 3 or 4 max on her, and then I had about the same. And it was really cool. They're really, really ugly up close. They're like, their feathers were like really matted and stuff. Like they didn't look like they were like washed recently, or I don't know like how they take care of parakeets, obviously. But it was a really cool experience. It was something that she and I kind of did as like a joke, but it turned out to be like one of the highlights of that entire trip was getting to go there. And that was like the first thing we did. So we started off really strong during that that vacation. So yeah, I agree. Birding for life, man. From Kaylin, birds as pets are way different than a dog or a cat, mainly because birds aren't typically predators. It has an incredible effect on their behavior and how you gain a bird's trust. That being said, I'm absolutely certain that all birds are just chaotic, eldritch gods trapped in mortal vessels. It's the only explanation. Yeah, the same thing applies to bunnies. I've been very interested in a long time for getting a bunny for a pet. I probably won't because like taking care of things is just outside of my... I don't have enough time to take care of things, okay? And bunnies are the same way where they're preys. So typically, you're going to need to gain their trust over time, but like constantly being in their vision and getting them to be used to you and like really easing yourself into it. Like with a dog, like a puppy, you can like play with it immediately. It trusts you, it loves you, it has no worries, no cares in the world. Cats, hit or miss. With birds or bunnies, you have a lot more trouble actually getting them to gain your trust. Now, once you do, these things are like super loyal, they love you, you're like their person. But it takes a while, it takes a lot of work. And people typically underestimate that. They'll get a bunny and keep it in a cage all the time. Bunny's not going to trust it. You need like a free range bunny kind of thing, you know? And you have to like really ease into it. You can't just immediately go petting a bird or petting a bunny. You have to really focus on letting them go at their own pace and having them come to you instead of you coming to them. So I agree. I'm glad that you're so educated on this. And yeah, they are demon spawn. Like wild birds, one of the most annoying things on the planet to deal with. From Grace, Wholesome. Yes, it is. She and I had a really good vacation. It was only about 36 hours, and there were some bumps. We, just like name a few things, like we wanted to dress up and go to a restaurant. We ended up going to like this really casual Mexican place and way overdressed for it. We ended up taking pictures at Target instead to kind of make up for it. We went to like this really cool cookie place or whatever. On the way back from where we went, we took like a few wrong turns and it took like 25 minutes longer to get home, and we hit some like really bad traffic, which that was really stressful. Not everything went to plan. She had a horrible night's sleep because we were on the bottom floor of a hotel and people were being really loud and she's a light sleeper. But the things that did go right went really well, and she and I are really good about adapting. We both had childhoods that necessitated us having to adapt to certain situations. So whenever things go wrong, like, we do a pretty good job at making the best of it. And really, at the end of the day, the whole point was just to bond and get closer and have some time away from everything, and I think we accomplished that really well. And I would argue that since that vacation, our relationship has been even stronger, which I didn't think was possible, which makes me wonder, like, how high can we go as far as, like, how great our relationship is. So yeah, it was wholesome, I agree. From the black pill consumer, just take the black pill. I don't normally include comments like this. I actually generally will delete them. I've actually deleted a few comments recently that were more negative and less constructive than I would have liked. You people probably know who you are, and I just hope that you find more positivity in your life. Anyway, for clarification, the black pill is basically similar to taking like a nihilistic point of view, which, to put simply, just means that like you don't see any meaning in life, that nothing that you do actually matters. And I've had that mentality for a very long time in life. I'm working on fixing that. And I think that when people out of nowhere just like comment stuff like this, it just makes sense to me. Like, I don't get like where you're at in life to where you feel the need to do that. Now, it's possible. These people are trolls. I mean, like the name kind of implies that they're probably somewhat of a troll, but even then, like, why? I've never understood, like, what do people get out of doing things like that? It doesn't make sense, but for people who may want to take the black pill, just as a reminder, yeah, ultimately in the universe, like, none of our actions actually matter. In fact, to the world, our actions probably don't matter. But the people that we have in our lives currently are important. And the actions we take with those people will create some kind of positive impact. And sure, a few generations down the line, you will be forgotten. It's just inevitable. Nobody outlasts the time of history. We don't remember people from 100,000 years ago that lived, okay? But the actions that you take in life can create an effect that makes a positive impact long after you're dead. It's called the butterfly effect. If I make a really positive impact on a lot of you guys, and you take the lessons that I give you, and you apply them to your children, you apply them to their children, and so on, even though my name won't be remembered, my actions will have influenced people in a way that makes the world better, is my hope. So, if you want to take the black pill, I would consider reconsidering and looking into the butterfly effect. Last but not least, we have another one from Kalen. If he's that mad, why not just go to a different store? At that point, they don't care about getting what they're demanding. They're just there to be angry adult babies. I know 6-year-olds that behave better than that. I agree. We were the second place that he had gone to look for a specific kind of mac and cheese. He was obviously getting frustrated. I encouraged him to call ahead next time, so that way he wouldn't have to waste the trip. But he said, no, I live close by. It's like, well, dude, why are you upset that you took the trip then if you live close by? Whatever. Nothing ever came of it. He was incredibly frustrated because he said that I wasn't a manager, even though I was the manager on duty. And he didn't understand why I couldn't just arbitrarily change the prices of things. Like, there are cases where I actually can change the price of things. If we have, like, old ad tags up and we need to, like, retroactively apply a deal to honor it, like, that's one thing. If we have another case where, like, we have a certain deal, but, like, we don't have all the materials, like a buy one, get one deal, I can apply certain discounts to those as well. I can't sell you macaroni cheaper because we don't have the specific kind of macaroni that you want. So we don't do that. That's not a thing that we do. Now, there are cases where I could give him, like, different things to make it, like, better, but I can't just, like, arbitrarily change prices. Like, I have to justify every price that I changed. If I can't justify it, then I'm the one that gets in trouble. It's not worth it. So he, like, man-baby cried about not getting his way. He was a male Karen. It sucked. I don't know what the male Karen is, like Kyle, maybe. This is, like, an older dude. He thought that he would just get his way, and I would bend over to his will. But as he was, like, lecturing me, saying that I was a liar, I just walked away. And no, not great customer service. Really bad example on my part. I know I wasn't going to get in trouble for it, though. But I just walked away. And he's like, oh, you're so professional. And in my head, I'm like, well, my dude, you're, like, not, like, giving me a chance to be professional. All you're doing is just telling me that I'm wrong. I can't do anything with this. He was talking past me, not talking with me. If I can't have a conversation, like, there's just no point in talking to you. So I just walked away. And then he ended up, like, yelling in the store a little bit and asked my employee, like, who my manager's name was or whatever, and then nothing ever came of it because he's a well-known guy that comes to our store and, like, causes problems all the time. If you ruin your reputation like that, nobody's going to take you seriously. So, yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed this responding to comments video. If you did, I do hope you go ahead and give it a like. If you want to see more videos like this, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I am uploading every single day of the year 2021. If I miss a day, I'll double upload. Do not forget to keep it casual.